Hi there everyone, my name is Afan and welcome back to another math video. If you notice, it's a little bit different in this video. I am on the camera and I'm sitting down with my iPad instead of being up there on my whiteboard writing stuff down on there. So yeah, it is a little bit different, but I thought this setup would be a little bit more efficient when we're working with actual example problems, because I have things ready and I can actually write down or erase things a little bit quicker than I would be able to do on my whiteboard. But again, I will use my whiteboard for other videos, so if you prefer that, I will do that. It's not gone. So without further ado, today I want to talk a little bit about logarithms, a little bit more, because I actually have a video up on logarithms if you've seen that. Hopefully you have, because today I'm actually just going to do a few easy example problems with logarithms that I have set up here. So again, if you are familiar with logarithms, what I have up right now should be pretty familiar. Log base a b is equal to x, and that can also be written as a to the x is equal to b. And I have a number, like a general example as well. Log base 2/8 is equal to 3, because 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 8. So I'll leave this up for just a second or two, because this is actually pretty useful. Right here, I'll just scroll down here. This is all there is to really know about what a log is. So usually you have a base, so let me just take out this. Usually you have a base, which is that, and then you have the number right beside the base, and then you have x, which is what power you raise the base to get b. So again, I'll rephrase that. Log base ab is equal to x. You can just write that as a to the power of x is equal to b. So it's almost like a to the power of x is equal to b. There's like sort of a circle, right? So a to the power of x is equal to b. So there's sort of like a circle there. And if you want to look at this example, 2 to the power of 3, right? That circle again is equal to 8. I don't want that up there. Let me get rid of that. Okay, there we go. So log base 2/8 is equal to 3. So that's all there is to logarithms. If you are familiar with this setup or this basic notation, you should be good to do the problems. So I'll go ahead and I'll go to the problems that I have set up. So here we go. We have a problem here. Log base 4x is equal to 3. So we want to go ahead and write this in exponential notation. So if you want to use that circle trick that I showed you, so there we go. It goes in sort of like a circle. So we can write this as 4 to the power of 3 is equal to x. There we go. That's all you have to do to solve this problem. Let me just scroll down. Now 4 to the power of 3 is 64. So 64 is equal to x. There we go. That's all there is to this problem. Log base 4x is equal to 3. What is x? Well, all I have to do is I have to rewrite it in exponential notation. So to write it in exponential notation, I can use that circle again. 4 to the power of 3 is equal to x. There. You can go ahead and solve problems like that. Let's do another one. There we go. So this one's a little bit different, but it's not too hard actually. I will scroll down so we can solve it. So log base 39 is equal to x. Well, how would I write this? Well, how would I find x, right? Again, remember that there is this circle pattern here. So this goes there, this goes there. So when you're writing it, it is actually 3 to the power of x is equal to 9. Now 3 to the power of x is equal to 9. Now you can just solve this by general knowledge, which is 3 squared is 9, right? So we can say x equals 2. Or if you want to solve it exponentially, I haven't actually covered this in my videos, but if you're doing logarithms, you should probably know how to solve some simple exponential equations anyways. You could get the same base, right? So 3 on this side, 3 to the power of x. You can rewrite 9 as a power of 3, so that would be 3 squared, right? Hopefully you see that. So since I have the same bases, I can just say x is equal to 2. I can just drop the bases and I can just relate to my exponents. So both of these ways are correct ways. Actually, I would say the second way that I showed is a little bit better to do because it's a little bit more efficient, but that's all there is to it really. You just have to know what the notation represents. Okay, so we'll move on to the next problem. Oh, I don't have a next problem. Or, you know what, let's come up with a problem right now. So let's say we had log, ooh, that is not good. Let's say we had log 100 is equal to x. Notice how I don't have a base there. And the reason I didn't put a base there because the default log on your calculator is 10. So if you just see log by itself, the base is always 10. So technically if you see something like that, if it helps you, go ahead and throw in a 10 right there, alright? But you won't really see it with the 10, that's why I got rid of it. So how would I solve this problem? Well, since the default log is 10, I'll just keep it there to help you. I would do the circle, right? This circle, this works for simple logarithm problems. So I do that circle, so x goes there. So 10 to the power of x is equal to 100, right? Now, 10 to the power of x is equal to 100. This is pretty simple because x has to be 2 because 10 squared is 100, right? And another way of solving it, I'll just do it in another color. I'll do it in purple. I can rewrite both of the powers with the same base. Or I can rewrite both of the numbers with the same base. So 10, I'll just use 10 as the base. And 100 I can write as 10 squared, right? So I have the same bases. If I have the same bases, drop the powers. Drop the numbers, just keep the powers, my bad. All I have then, if I drop the 10s, all I have is x is equal to 2. Again, both ways you get the right answer, but again, if you're doing log problems that are simple as this, that's all you have to do. You have to remember the notation. I will go up there to the notation. There we go, the notation. Log base AB is equal to x. If you can remember that, and if you can remember that circle, how a to the x is equal to b, and log base AB is equal to x. That's the only connection you really need for beginning with logarithms. I'll have another video uploaded on logarithm properties, so we're going to get a little bit more complex with logarithms. But again, the basic idea of logarithms is right here, right on the screen. That's all there is to logarithms. If you can get this down in your head, just like factoring you learn, and if after you learn the techniques, it comes easily. That's the same with logarithms. After you learn how easy it is, or just the notation is pretty simple, after you learn how easy it is and you get used to it, all the other properties that I'll introduce should come very, very easily, and it should not be too hard. So again, hopefully this video helped, and yeah, stay tuned if you're learning about logarithms for the first time. I hope you're enjoying it, and hopefully you're picking up things as well. So again, hopefully you have a nice day, and thanks for watching.